Good evening, I'm Keisha Butts with a CTV News update. A Prince George's County police officer has been struck by a car in an officer-involved shooting in Temple Hills. The incident happened on Suitland Parkway near Naylor Road. Investigators say police were on the scene of an officer-involved shooting when a suspect's car hit and injured the officer.
Two of our officers got out of the cruiser, were approaching on foot. As they were approaching the business, overhead garage-style door came up, and a black Charger then exited the garage area of that business. As it left the garage area at a high rate of speed, it struck one of our officers. That officer went over the hood and into the front windshield of that vehicle. As that was happening, the second officer who was standing besides the car discharged his firearm into that vehicle. That Dodge Charger then fled the parking lot at a high rate of speed.
No one was struck by the gunfire. The officer suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Two suspects are in custody. Police are looking for a third. In other news, the local teachers union reacts to the county school district's announcement that it will resume in-person learning for most students this fall. Teresa Dudley, president of the Prince George's County Educators Association, says she wasn't surprised that the school district wants to get students and teachers back in classrooms next school year. However, she says her members are still concerned about the working conditions when they return.
We still have to negotiate with respect to working conditions, i.e., are there going to be accommodations for our members? What are we going to do about the maintenance of the facilities and air quality when we have that many people in the building? We want to make sure that we are following the CDC guidelines as far as social distancing is concerned. And that is very difficult to do in some of our schools where there is significant overcrowding.
CEO Dr. Monica Goldson will host a telephone town hall tonight to discuss the school district's plan for this fall. The town hall will start at 5 p.m. Parents will automatically receive a call from the county school system to join in on the town hall. The state of Maryland is reporting a record low 7-day COVID positivity rate. Today it stands at 0.95%, which is down 84% since April, and the second time in a week the positivity rate dipped below 1%. As for the number of people infected, the state health department has confirmed 126 new cases. 21 of those are in Prince George's County. 4 people have died from the disease since yesterday. Health department officials continue to urge residents to get vaccinated. A 495 expansion project gets a preliminary approval from the Maryland Transit Authority. The amended version will expand the Capitol Beltway around the American Legion Bridge. Board members gave initial approval to a proposal to add 2 high-occupancy toll lanes in each direction on the bridge from I-270 to I-370. The vote was unanimous. Hot lanes would allow cars with 3 or more people, including transit buses, to ride for free. Others could opt to pay a variable toll to escape a congested lane. The current proposal does not include eastern portions of the Beltway between Prince George's and Montgomery counties. A Prince George's County police officer has been convicted of assault in a domestic violence case. 32-year-old officer Stephen Davis was arrested in September of 2019 and accused of assaulting his girlfriend at his Laurel home. Investigators say Davis dragged his girlfriend from the shower, bit her chin, broke her nose when he headbutted her, hit her over the head with his department-issued handgun, and threatened to kill her. Davis remains suspended without pay. An ongoing internal affairs investigation will determine whether he keeps his job. He faces up to 70 years behind bars when he's sentenced later this summer. You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha Butts. Coming up, State Delegate Juanica Fisher has her eyes set on the County Council. The story and more after the break.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach. for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back. The FDA approves new medicine that could help almost 6 million Americans. That's according to the CDC. The agency approved an Alzheimer's experimental drug earlier this week. It would slow the progression of the disease in people at the earliest stages. And advocacy organization Women Against Alzheimer's says Latinos, African Americans, and women of color are more likely to have this illness. The group says this new drug would have a huge impact.
What this breakthrough really means is earlier detection and diagnosis is hopefully going to become more common in Alzheimer's, whereas today, 60% of the cases go unrecognized or get diagnosed too late. And oftentimes families are dealing with this in a crisis, and we want people to get help and support much earlier in the disease progression.
Kenny says more than 100,000 Marylanders have Alzheimer's. It isn't always easy to get quality food in some areas of Prince George's County. In fact, some areas have so few grocery stores that they're considered food deserts. That's why the Prince George's Council recently expanded healthy food options to include mobile grocery stores. Similar to food trucks, which you can find in various hubs throughout the county, the vendors will provide the options including fresh fruits and vegetables in food priority areas.
We've created tax areas, incentives to be able to get groceries to come into areas of the county that don't currently have them. However, it hasn't been as successful as we want. So this is another option for us to allow for those healthy food options to go to those targeted areas in Prince George's County. And so the legislation does have those areas as the primary area of where this grocery food opportunity truck mobile vending can go.
Is this a temporary fix? Are you hoping to still get more?
No. So this is just another, tool in the toolbox for us. Maybe, in a sense, not temporary because we're going to see how it works. The other thing that we did initially, the legislation was going to be limited to not-for-profit organizations, but in speaking with the Food Equity Council and other stakeholders in the county, we expanded that. So there might be others, entrepreneurs, who are willing to do this to expand. But ultimately, the goal is to make sure that those type of grocery stores that we have in other parts of the county go into those areas where there's needs as well.
The council will work closely with the Capital Area Food Bank on this issue. The county's DPI office will provide applications for mobile vendor licenses. A Prince George's delegate is stepping down from her seat in Annapolis to run for county council. Juanica Fisher met with Giant employees and UFCW Local 400 in Hyattsville this morning. The union says it's endorsing her. She is running for District 2, the area currently represented by Councilmember Denny Taveras. Fisher says she wants to have a more personal experience with residents.
We have a lot of issues around code enforcement, improper rental issues, walkability, safety, making sure that there's development in our community. We have a couple of vacant lot situations and malls, and so just living here every day, it's hard to see those kind of problems and not work on them. And so I think the council is going to give me that opportunity.
And some Shoppers stores closed in this area about a year and a half ago. She was one of the many legislators and elected officials who stood up strong and said, this is wrong what's happened in this community, and she moved legislation in Annapolis to support those workers.
Fisher also visited Crossroad Farmers Market in Tacoma Park today. This Thursday, you can voice your opinion about a new plan to improve immigrant achievement in Prince George's schools. Over the last 9 months, a work group consisting of students, education advocates, and experts has focused on ways to advance academic achievement for English language learners. The final report is filled with recommendations for the school district.
They include things like native language instruction in core subjects of math and science, so that when students are learning, they don't have to overcome the English barrier in addition to understanding content and concepts for math and science. Another recommendation is promoting dual certification and ESOL for teachers, so that there are more educators in the building that understand how to educate ELL students. And I think one of the ones that I'm really, really excited for is eventually if these recommendations are adopted, we would be having a ethnic and cultural studies course graduation requirement for all students, so that every student can understand their history and their culture, as well as the history and culture of other students.
You can sign up to testify at this Thursday's board meeting by going to pgcps.org. To view the full report, click on the board link and scroll down to Board Docs. And coming up after the break, Prince George's County Executive Angela Ossobrooks takes to the airwaves for her State of the County address. Details next. Stay with us.
Practicing meditation, mindfulness, or other spiritual practices can help ground you. For more tips, visit coping-19.org.
Welcome back. Police have released the identity of the driver who was killed in that fatal car accident in Cheltenham on Sunday. The victim is 19-year-old Latrell McCants of Temple Hills. Investigators say McCants was traveling southbound on 9400 block of Surratt's Road at around 5:40 in the evening when his vehicle left the roadway, struck a pole, and caught fire. McCants was pronounced dead at the scene. Anyone who may have witnessed this incident is asked to call the Prince George's County Police. If you want to know about the state of the county, you'll want to tune in to watch County Executive Angela Ossobrooks as she presents her State of the County address tonight. It's scheduled for 6 o'clock. Ossobrooks is expected to talk about the county's response to the pandemic, the ribbon cutting at the new regional hospital, and the economic prospects for the county. Again, it's scheduled for 6 tonight. You can watch it on YouTube by logging on to the link on your screen below. The town of Upper Marlboro is ditching one of its old gas vehicles to go electric. The town recently purchased a 2020 Chevy Bolt. The car is the town's first ever electric automobile. The Maryland Smart Energies Communities Program awarded the town a $10,000 grant to help with the purchase of the $22,000 car.
The town wanted to reduce its carbon footprint. That was a decision made by our Board of Town Commissioners, our elected body. They wanted to reduce our carbon output, and the easiest way to do that we saw up front would be replace our aging code compliance vehicle that we were going to replace anyways with an electric Chevy Bolt.
Oh, it's great. I mean, believe it or not, the car is it rides very smooth. It's a different feel because you're used to hearing that engine, but clearly the electric car is quiet and it does very well.
The town's code compliance officer will use the new car. Officials say they want to purchase more electric vehicles in the future. Prince George's has a new acting director of the Department of the Environment. She is Andrea Crooms, an environmental attorney, energy engineer, and climate scientist. Crooms was tapped to fill the position by County Executive Angela Ossobrooks prior to her new position. Crooms served in the U.S. Department of Energy and the Department of Homeland Security. Crooms will serve as acting director while her nomination is sent to the County Council for a review and confirmation vote. And now for your weather forecast. Tonight, a chance of thunderstorms, lows around 71 degrees. Tomorrow, showers with highs in the 80s. Friday, the rainy weather continues. Highs in the low 70s. Saturday, partly sunny conditions, highs in the 80s. And now for your community calendar. The county's Parks Department is hosting a series of in-person and virtual events as Prince George's observes Juneteenth holiday. From Monday, June 14th through the 19th, the agency will feature virtual art exhibitions and panel discussions. Activities will also include a drive-through event where you can pick up Juneteenth celebration kits. For detailed information on the events, visit pgparks.com/Juneteenth. And that wraps up your CTV News update. I'm Keisha Butts. Have a good night.